divine energies. What is it? You might have heard being feminine is putting on makeup, is soft life, not doing anything, being taken care of, being pampered. In some way, these are accurate. You might have heard, this is more common, toxic masculinity. Again, actually to that, toxic masculine or toxic feminine. Likely you've heard toxic masculine. But I say to that's inaccurate. There is no actual such thing as toxic masculine or feminine energy. Another way said, right, is that I prefer immature energy. It hasn't had the experience, it hasn't had the growth, the awareness, the evolution inside of us individually to be mature, to show up in a mature way, to have understanding. And so sometimes you may hear dark femininity. Sometimes you may hear shadow sides of masculine and feminine. We're talking about something that's intangible, divine energy. So we're talking about something that you can't exactly pick up a book. There's no one set authority on it. We're talking about energy. And with life, the only thing's constant is change. Things are always growing. Things are always adapting. Things are always evolving. And when we're talking about energy, you can't know it all. So with that, I give the disclaimer, my expertise comes from experience and the seeking of study, knowledge, and there is no one resource, one finite, let me pick up the book of femininity, flip it open to chapter 13. Let's dig in. Line 5. Here we go. Verse in scripture. That's not going to show up. So it's a very challenging thing to introduce people to, which is why it is one of the most common questions by the clients that end up with me, because they know what they want, their end goal, and they don't know what's in the way. Why aren't these things working? Everybody else seems to have it. I'm doing what they say you're supposed to do. I see this information here. It's confusing from that information over there. It's not what feels natural. It's not what I've been told. It's not what I've seen. It's not what I've practiced. What is going on?
Yep.
So as best I can lay it out for you. So to start off, right, divine energy are universal laws and principles. They're seen throughout different facets of life, of existence, of knowledge, spirituality. You can see it out there in yin and yang, or divine masculine and feminine energy. And these energies embody everything of life. Life as a whole. There's rarely a thing in life that you can point to that does not have the dichotomy of masculine and feminine side. What is this masculine and feminine energy? Divine masculine and feminine energy. Step back and approach it as it's energetic. It's not something tangible. There is no set structure of it. There are principles of it that you can come to understand to then give you a filter to start to distinguish it in your life, because I'm helping them understand where their divine masculine and feminine energies are playing to their benefit or to their detriment. What feminine energy, divine feminine energy, is not. Divine feminine energy, to give you that, I'm going to start with just the complete is really good polar opposite. Now, inside of that, when you think polar, you may be thinking opposite, opposition, polar energy. Masculine and feminine energy has polarity. They are opposites of each other, and therefore opposites attract. Why is that? Because they are the lack, they are the other, the yoking even. They are the balance to the equation, right? I help men and women. Why? Because we're two sides to the same coin. Inside of that means that we're equal. However, we are not the same. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the challenge that I was speaking to earlier, to even understand things like this, when you don't have these filters to know what you're talking about, to point to it, to see it, to grasp it, then it becomes hard to quantify it, to pin it down, to translate it to other things. So these divine masculine and feminine energies are polar opposites. They operate differently, they show up differently, they work differently, their weaknesses and strengths are different, and they complement is the best. Yes, they complement each other brilliantly. Why? Because they are universal. They are inside of everything. If you think about the moon and the sun, day and night, hot and cold, everything in the universe. And I don't want to get too esoteric. I don't want to get too, woo-woo, right? But we are talking about energy. So you're going to have to hop in the water and enjoy some of this, especially especially if you want to get an understanding of the divine feminine, because divine feminine energy is the unseen. Masculine energy is fully present in the physical, which is part of the challenge that society right now is trying to wrap themselves around. Everything that we've seen, we can attest to inside of the masculine, physical. We can physically see the data, the numbers, the buildings, the structures, the work, the effort. It's visibly confirmed. It is in the physical plane. That is masculine energy. Divine feminine energy, remember I said light and the dark. So if you can see everything in the light, the physical, that's masculine. The divine feminine is what you cannot see. Your visual, your smell, your hearing, all of those senses are dead to divine feminine. Divine feminine energy is the world of what shows up in the unseen. You have to feel it here in your heart, in your body, more or less. And that's a huge distinctor that you'll be able to tell deeper into the work.